And we welcome you into the Hill City for a midweek matchup between a pair of conference foes. It's the Lynchburg Hornets playing host to the Shenandoah Hornets in the Hill City. Hello and welcome in to Lynchburg, Virginia on Schellenberger Field. I'm Joe Brennan for what should be an exciting matchup between a Shenandoah squad that is looking to grab a signature win off the road. Meanwhile, Lynchburg looks to keep on keeping on, staying perfect in conference play and on their home turf. The Lynchburg Hornets enter this affair at 11-1 with a 6-game win streak, 5 of which they've won on their home turf. Meanwhile, Shenandoah sitting with a record of 5-10, 3-5 in conference action, fresh off a crucial 16-4 win over the Averett Cougars. This is a Lynchburg team that has been dominant, to say the least, all season long. A whole host of scorers, which has really made this team difficult to stop. But one thing that has made them extraordinarily explosive is their dominance at the center circle. Riley Frankel has proven to be one of the best guys in the conference and in the entire nation at his respective position. But let's take a look at, meanwhile, Riley Frankel has been extremely efficient. If the season ended today, he would be the leader in program history for single-season face-off percentage. Meanwhile, it's a Shenandoah team that can find their rhythm in a hurry on the offensive end. Their leading goal scorer, Cody Griffith, comes in after 6 goals. A sock trick scored against the Averett Cougars. The sophomore out of Newmarket, Maryland, with 28 goals this season, along with 5 assists. It's a very young team, especially on the offensive end. The 3 leading point scorers for Shenandoah, all underclassmen in their freshman or sophomore season. Who really stands out is the first-year attackman out of Westminster, Maryland, in Liam Armsmeyer. A 6'4", 180-pound first year with 13 goals and 25 assists. With that being said, let's take a look at how these two teams match up on paper coming into today's contest. We mentioned the explosive nature of Lynchburg's offense. They are first in the nation for scoring offense, averaging 19.25 goals per game. On the other end, it's a Shenandoah squad that has started to find their groove as the season has moved along, scoring 141 goals this year. They can get shots off, and that can oftentimes help them control possession. Nevertheless, it's a Lynchburg team that had a little bit of an issue in terms of turnovers last week against Randolph-Macon. That should be something we see Lynchburg try and address today. Maybe want to slow down that clock just a tick. Well, we appreciate you joining us tonight. The sun's starting to set here in Lynchburg, Virginia. It's been a hot one today, around 80 degrees. Partially cloudy. We will be under the lights here in about a quarter and a half as the goalies meet and head to their respective circles. Let's walk you through the starting lineups for today. First for the visiting Hornets of Shenandoah. Feldman, the goalkeeper, and you've got Armsmeyer, who we highlighted in the open, Poster, Brooks, Griffiths, Petri, Gessner, Sullivan, Nolt, and Zertansky. Opening face-off away and won by Franco, who just continues his hot streak as of late. Riley Franco really has been extraordinary this season. It's tough to pinpoint the player that has the biggest impact on this team, but I got the sense that it's got to be one of the two Rileys, in Hastings and Franco, who are well on their way to be first-team All-Americans this season. Lynchburg on the offensive end. Ash's shot is wide, tracked down by Hastings, and Lynchburg will maintain possession with 48 on the shot clock. Here's Hastings, coming off a dominant performance against Randolph-Macon. Working to his left hand, a side arm. Runs wide left, tracked down by the Hornets in Will Rubley. Rubley will come up from GLE. Sidearm shot stopped by the keeper. Fight for the loose ball. Rolls out of bounds, and Lynchburg turns it over. The Hornets were saying let it go. Lynchburg Hornets, I should say. We're saying let it go, out of bounds. But the call did not go their way. Now here's Cody Griffiths. Skip pass off the mark. Trying to locate Liam Armsmeyer. If you missed Lynchburg's last game against Randolph-Macon, it was one that was certainly played with a whole lot of intensity. A physical matchup between the Yellow Jackets and the Hornets, as Hastings tries to go underneath to Vandenberg. Those two can't connect. Deflected away and maintained by Lynchburg with 60 on the timer. Now here's the first year, Mache Roth. Splits to his left, back up top of the box, extra pass, and Lynchburg strikes first. Looked like that one came from Caden Hinchy, a senior midfielder. Hinchy with his 9th goal this season. And a little bit of a hot streak in late March, early April. 4 goals across 4 games. Far side, it's Lee. Parker wants to go. Attacking Morales, the first year. Forced to retreat. Shenandoah will regroup. Top of the box. Split to the right. Double team comes. Morales all over him. Morales has really been the phenom out of the defensive unit for first years. Splitting long stick midfield time with Luke Meadows. Meadows has really taken that kid under his wing. His coaching staff really high about Morales and what he's done this season and what's to come down the line the next 3 years. Armsmeyer matched up against Kyler Mahoney. 13 seconds. Oh, the pass, the shot, the score. Xavier Parker finds the back of the cage and levels us at 1 apiece. Xavier Parker with his 14th goal this season. It was a beautiful pass that got that sequence started. Parker, another one of those talented young players for the Shenandoah squad. There's a whole lot to look forward with this group and what's to come down the line. So many talented freshmen and sophomore on this Shenandoah squad. Meadows collects the pearl off the carpet. Now they'll slow it down with Hastings. Rubley looking to make his move. Sidearm, bar down. A quick response from Will Rubley and the Lynchburg Hornets. This kid is a dynamic playmaker. Take another look at what he's got in his bag. Oh my goodness. Looked like Feldman saw it all the way. Just so much speed behind it, not much he could do. Another win for Frankel. Vandenberg at GLE back up top. Drew Schmidt. Flips it off for Finn Schmidt. Couldn't handle it cleanly. Trying to attack this zone defense. Quincy White bulldozing his way inside. Shut off. Finn Schmidt wants to go. Near side of Vandenberg. Over Hastings. Pump fake. Dribble drive. Off the referee. Trying to go behind the back. Hit the zebra. Quincy White with under 30 seconds on the shot clock. White flips back behind the back pass. Scoop shot no good. Missed the top right corner as Hudson Royer tried to paint the outside edge. 18 on the ticker as Lynchburg leads by 1 here in the early stages of the first quarter. Finn Schmidt back to his right. No dice once more. 8 seconds on the timer. Hastings wants to go. Curling around. Another big-time save made by the keeper in Feldman. Feldman coming into this contest. 9 appearances, 6 starts. A save percentage right around 48. He has certainly seen his fair share of action this year with 267 shots faced entering today's matchup. Shenandoah has really split time between the keepers, between Feldman and Jack Dwyer. As of late, it has really been Feldman. Played a full 60 against Averett and Washington and Lee. The bouncer is true. Sam Poster gets the sideline buzzing for the Hornets. We're all squared up at 2 apiece.
Shenandoah goal scored by number 14, Sam Poster.
Nothing fancy on that offensive sequence. Frankel, a quick win. Good clamp and a good advancement into the box. Finn Schmidt, far side of the field, goes underneath to Vandenberg. He'll flip near side to Hastings. Lost the pearl, got it back, making his move. Underneath Vandenberg, looking to attack off the scramble drill. Now we'll slow the tempo. Rubley inside. Rubley got his second of the day. That's what they call the sub game. That was a great job finding the man streaking downfield. Slices his way right through the interior of the defense. And Lynchburg yet again has an answer. Back and forth we go. Lynchburg, Shenandoah, and the Hornets make it 3-2. Rocco Egan with the win. 4-on-3 break. Tic-tac-toe, too high. The right idea right there. Quick passing, trying to make the defense move. And free up the open Finn Schmidt on the far side of the crease. Nice check from Morales to prevent his man getting to the ball. Now it's loose. Scooped up by Eager. Armsmeyer. Moved over to Parker. Back over to Eager. One more time for Ho. Down the right alley. Getting to his left, now back to his right on the roll. Armsmeyer against Mahoney. Gets switched on to the shorty. Looking to go right at the first-year short stick defensive midi. Shot clock at 10. Parker looking for help. Inside move. Offline, and the shot clock expires. Great defensive sequence from Lynchburg. They've been looking for one of those all day long. Rubley already got 2 today as he won a first quarter hat trick. Holman, sidearm. Stopped by the keeper. On a squad that has so much young talent in that starting lineup, it's got to be somewhat refreshing to have an older character between the pipes for you. The junior out of Mechanicsville, Maryland. Strong performance thus far for the blue and red. Brooks down the near alley. Uncontested step down, stopped by Allen. The ODAC goalie of the week, or defensive player, if you will. More times than not, you're going to see that go to a keeper unless you've got a guy like we see Mike Allen of Randolph-Macon win a handful this year. Jay O'Keefe, another really talented pull down at Washington, and Lee, who's had a very strong senior season. Finn Schmidt, inside spin. Now he wants to settle and set the table. Here's Mache Roth. Fighting through traffic. Bouncer. Collected by Fredman. Ryan Demo brings it across the timeline. Dropped over to Eager. Lee feeds down low at X. Eager draws a penalty. That one will go against the freshman Shorty. Eager still looking to attack the matchup. This time a chunk disrupts the possession. 10 on the shot clock. They'll get it to Parker. Parker against Morales, all tied up. It's taken away, but now we'll go into the man-up set for Shenandoah. Four of the man-up goals this year for Shenandoah have been from the freshman Ryan Ho. This is one element of their game that Shenandoah would certainly like to be a little bit sharper in. Man up this year, converting it around a 15% clip. Scaparotto in the penalty box for Lynchburg for the next 45 seconds. Step down, bouncer on the mark. Cody Griffiths adds another one to his season total. This kid's been playing out of his mind in his sophomore campaign. I think that goal number 29 this season. That surpasses his mark from his freshman year. Last year he had 28 goals, 5 assists, now up to 29 and 8 this year. Face-off won by Frankel. So tough to try and hold on to momentum against this Lynchburg team when it seems like every single time they're at the face-off circle, it's going the Lynchburg Hornets' way. But a takeaway and momentum the other way. The shot, the goal, and Shenandoah takes the lead. This time it's Kennedy Duda. The defenseman making it happen on the offensive end. Duda, his 4th goal this year in his freshman campaign. The kids are coming to play. These two programs in vastly different stages right now. You have a Shenandoah squad that is really just rebuilding and trying to load up on this young talent. His staff has done an excellent job in the last handful of years bringing Shenandoah to where they'd like to be in the conference. We've really seen them rise in the ranks. A school that a couple decades ago you could really say they were kind of in the basement of ODAC lacrosse. They're not living there anymore. This team has come to play, and they'd like to be amongst the likes of Washington and Lee and Randolph-Macon and Roanoke and Lynchburg that find themselves in the national poll on a year-in, year-out basis. Shenandoah not quite there, but this is a team that can really disrupt and have some fun while they're out there and give you a run for your money. We saw them against Washington and Lee on April 7th. Just over a week ago. That was a 4-26 final. And one aspect to their team that really you feel like might need to find that rhythm is the offensive side of the field. Their defense, especially towards the midway point of the year, it felt like they really kind of figured out that rhythm. Granted, offensively, this is a squad that, again, so young, so much brightness in that future. And today, with 4 in the first quarter, you got to feel pretty good about where you're at this stage of the ball game. And right now, Lynchburg, it just feels like they're sleepwalking through this one. You could call it a trap game. You could call it an emotional hangover from that Randolph-Macon game. But either way you want to frame it, the Shenandoah Hornets are looking to walk into the Hive and turn it into their own. Shenandoah 4, Lynchburg 3, under a minute to go in the first quarter. And we welcome you back into the hill city of Lynchburg, Virginia. From Schellenberger Field, it's the Hornets versus the Hornets. Shenandoah coming into town, trying to pull off a big-time upset against Lynchburg, leading 4-1 with under a minute to go in the first quarter of action. On the near side, it's Sam Poster. Driving down the right alley, he'll dish underneath to X for Luke Petrie. Now sweeping across the top of the box. Poster wants to go again, this time against Mason. Nice little poke check there from Kyler Mahoney. Ball free. Mahoney injects it into the sky. A one-handed snag from Mason. A long heave downfield for Meadows. And the Hornets have numbers in transition. Meadows for Hastings. Wants to go. Top right corner. Riley Hastings. That's goal number 42 this season for 24 and white. He has scored in every game this year. And just 2 games where it wasn't a multi-game goal performance. With just about 14 seconds to go, Lynchburg levels the scorecard. Brody Mason wants to go quick. With 5, with 4, with 3. Knocked away. Nice check right there from the sophomore defenseman in Zerkanski. We head to the second quarter, all tied up at 4 apiece. This one might be a little bit more exciting than you might have thought at home. How about the Hornets of Shenandoah throwing punches in the first quarter of play? welcome you back in to Lynchburg, Virginia, where Shenandoah has put on a spectacular performance in the first quarter of action. Four to four our score. Shenandoah looking to find their first victory against Lynchburg as far as our record books go back. "14 meetings between these two programs all the way back to 1998, where Lynchburg has won every single one of them. Last year was a 20-3 final score at Shenandoah. Liam Holman, sidearm on target. Liam Holman coming off a 2-goal performance against Randolph-Macon. The third most goals on the Lynchburg squad this season. Another guy that's found the back of the cage in every game this year. "5-4 Lynchburg leads once again. Riley Franco with another face-off victory. He's been dominant today in that center circle. 10 for 11 for Lynchburg. Franco has won 8 of 9. Will Rubley splits to his left. Extra pass, Finn Schmidt off the ironwork. Tracked down by 2 and White. Holman looking to get some 2-on-2 crime. Good shut off right there by the long pole Duda. Hastings takes a screen from Rubley. Hastings with his left. A southpaw score. His second one of the day. 2 goals on 5 shots for Riley Hastings. One of the all-time greats for Lynchburg. You know, even though he hasn't graduated yet, he's going to be one of those first ballot all Hall of Famers for Lynchburg. 43 goals this season. Came into this one tied this season for a career high in goals at 41 in 2024. But I mean, he has primarily been a distributor his entire Lynchburg tenure. Had 30 assists his freshman and sophomore year, then 33 a season ago. He's got 24 this year, certainly well within striking distance. And there's a good chance he could climb his way into the top 10 for most goals in a single season this year. Roth splits to his left. How about the move from the first year? Mache Roth, how do you do? Roth has really been an excellent addition this year to that Lynchburg offensive unit. 6 goals, 4 assists. And we just started to see more and more production as the season has moved along, as you oftentimes see with those young players at any level. Once you move up a notch in terms of speed of play, it's going to take you a while to kind of find that foundation, and if it doesn't, that means that they're going to be dangerous for years to come. And Roth had 3 goals in the first 2 games, then it started to simmer down a little bit once Lynchburg started to take on, Gettysburg and CNU and those nationally ranked matches. But nevertheless, he has been excellent as this season has really moved along. Calm, cool, collected. And he's just really had his level of patience that has really helped his game. Overall, just a great kid that fits in with this program and the culture of Lynchburg lacrosse. There's an answer from Shenandoah. After 3 consecutive from Lynchburg, it's Cody Griffiths with his second of the day.
Shenandoah goal scored by number 21, Cody Griffiths, assisted by number 17, Lucas Brooks.
Face-off win for Shenandoah. Sidelines loving it. Talk so much about how it's difficult to garner momentum against a Lynchburg team that essentially plays make it, take it most of the time. And today that has not necessarily been the case. Shenandoah is starting to pick up a couple of wins here at the center circle. It was a dominant start from Lynchburg in the first quarter, but Shenandoah now finding their rhythm at the dot. Ho against Mason. Petrie gets the switch onto the shorty and Brody Mason. Petrie wants to attack. That's either a shot that went well wide or a pass that wasn't on target. They'll call it a shot. Tracked down by Noah Nolt. Parker stripped by the freshman Morales. Haley collects, reverses the field over to Will Hicks. Hicks, someone that we haven't talked a whole lot on this broadcast about this season, but we need to give him his flowers a little bit. Hicks, the senior defenseman out of Salem, Virginia, about 45 minutes west of Lynchburg. Thaddeus Highland was really that third starter in the defensive group for Close this year. And then it was that Mustang Classic and a celebration in the CNU game. Took a tumble, fell on his hand, broke his hand. Highland most likely done for the remainder of the year, and with that it was next man up mentality, and Hicks just filled that spot in brilliantly. The senior just patiently waiting for his time to step in, gets it this season, and it has been like clockwork ever since he entered the rotation. The Lynchburg defense really has not missed a beat. That's something you get with a program such as Lynchburg when you just got so much depth and experience on that sideline. The bouncer from Finn Schmidt over the top beam, tracked down by Hastings with 8 on the timer, telling everybody go back. Hastings wanting to go to work. Gets to his right, pass up top. Vandenberg gotta go, and a nice poke check. Looked like that was Kennedy Duda that got his stick in the mix. Lifted the bottom hand of Vandenberg just enough to send the shot high. But Will Hicks, I mean, he's coming off his first career goal last game against Randolph-Macon, and you could just see the excitement and the energy from the Lynchburg sideline. That says something about a team culture when everybody's just thrilled for one guy having that kind of highlight that he's just been waiting for 3.5 years. On the other end, it's Armsmeyer. Worked around. Poster wants to go to his left. Down the right alley. Bounce pass. Disrupted by Hicks. And wins possession for Lynchburg. Right on cue. a senior out of Salem. A whole lot of real estate for Haley. Pass over the top for Tangway. Nice job from Hicks. Will Rubley already got one today. He'll give it up to Tangway. Tangway gets to his spot. One more pass. Can't put it on target. That was Mark Rubley. Tangway looking to attack. Got to beat. Jump shot. True. Tangway fires and scores. Lynchburg back up by a triple. Eight to 5, Lynchburg leading. That sun's starting to set here in Lynchburg, Virginia. A good showing tonight from the Hornet faithful. That track on the far side of the field slowly starting to fill up. Tangway looking to go back to back. This time he'll dump it off. Ball got knocked loose. Picked up by Zerzanski. Toss back to Feldman. Long heave on one hop out of the stick of Ormsmeyer. Lynchburg has outscored Shenandoah 4-1 through the first 8 minutes of the second quarter. The offense starting to find its rhythm. Rubley for Vandenberg. Tried to heave it off at the last moment. Ash corralled it. Now Hastings drawing a double team. Up top, Vandenberg. Great shut off by the long pull. Got right into his chest pocket. Hastings with 15. He's got a hat trick. That wasn't a great possession for Lynchburg, in all honesty. It felt like that ball movement became really stagnant right there and a whole lot of miscommunication, but sometimes you just get it to 24 and get out of the way. That's his 8th hat trick this season. 8 in 13 games, not a bad clip for 24. Nice job from Luke Meadows to win that battle. Hinchy to his left, the sidearm. Oh, what a beauty. He's cooking with gasoline tonight. You get the sense that Lynchburg woke up a slumber in the first quarter, but Lynchburg has scored 6 in the first 9 minutes of the second quarter. We've got 5:45 remaining. Don't go anywhere. More coming on FloSports. At the end of the first quarter, it was 4-4, but Lynchburg not playing around here in quarter number 2, outscoring Shenandoah 6-1. Hastings leads all scorers with 3 goals so far tonight. It's been a great display from Frankel at the dot. The Hornets 14 of 17 from the face-off circle. So tough to avoid saying Hornets in this one. And it's so unusual that you've got 2 Hornet mascots in the ODAC, which feels like a pretty uncommon mascot. Obviously, you've got the Charlotte Hornets, which is it's probably the most recognizable Hornet mascot. But outside of that, I mean, I couldn't name you that too many Hornet. I mean, obviously, you got the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech, but again, Hornet, not a B, like we've got the Randolph-Macon Yellow Jackets. You've got Delaware State. Those are the Hornets. But other than that, I mean, it really isn't all that common, so a little unique that you've got this. Nevertheless, certainly a fun one on deck. I've got one of our producers, Ethan Moransky, shaking his head at me, telling me it's more common than I think. There's a sting right there from the Hornets of Shenandoah. Coming from Liam Arnsmeyer.
Goal scored by number 13, Liam Arnsmeyer.
Arnsmeyer had been held relatively quiet in the early stages of this one. Arnsmeyer had an assist earlier. Now he gets his first point. I mean, he is certainly one of their go-to guys on the offensive end. Arnsmeyer, first on the team in points this year. Lee not out of the woods yet. Morton fighting for the ground ball. Able to collect it, still being harassed. Finds Kyler Mahoney. Advanced one more time, and Lynchburg's got numbers. Aiden Casey can't find the back of the cage. All right, so I just got a note passed to me of the number of Hornet mascots in the NCAA. Across all 3 divisions, you've got 3 in Division I, 1 in Division II as the bouncer runs wide right from Holman. And you have 4 in Division III. So a grand total of 8, which I still feel like is a very low number. I mean, if you look at Bulldog, I mean, there's got to be a gazillion. You know, like Lions, Panthers, any kind of cat is a pretty common one. Falcons, Eagles. Yeah, you got more than 40 colleges across all NCAA divisions with a Bulldog as a mascot. My personal favorite is Butler. I like their Bulldog they've got. Blue, I think his name is. Here's Holman inside on the doorstep. What a stop! Mano a mano against a guy that's amongst the leaders in shot percentage in Division III. And somehow Rubley can't convert. It's stopped by Feldman, who has really had a strong night. I mean, he's just been pelted with shots. 32 from Lynchburg thus far. It's going to be a big one. Second time's the charm. Rubley not going to be denied this time around. Rubley's got a hat trick.
That's a hat trick for Lynchburg's number 37.
11-6, Hornets in command. Just over 2.5 remaining. Here's a good battle at the dot. Physical play. Kicked out of bounds. Lynchburg will take over. Bring in that second line of midfielders. Hinchy got himself free. Pass to Roth. Not looked all the way in. Now Vandenberg. Skip over. Woo! Top right. Van Tangway. That's a gem right there. And really all about the feed. Van Tangway's got 2. Tangway's had a couple of games this year where he has just caught fire. He's got 2 hat tricks this season and 5 goals his freshman year in 2025. Has really started to build off that in his sophomore season. That might be the prettiest shot he's had all year. Finn Schmidt trying to create some space. Rubley to Rubley. Will up top for Mark. Stutter step. Bouncer as he's fallen to the deck. Hastings nearly poked it in the back of the cage. Minute 15 to go. Duda. Offsides call. Lynchburg wants to go. Here's Rubley. Bouncer. On the money. He's got number 4. That all started with a transition on the defensive end after the penalty from Shenandoah. And Lynchburg has just started to run away with it in quarter number 2. They've scored 9 goals. They're averaging a goal every minute and a half. After just 4 in the first quarter. The defense is cleaned up in tandem, holding Shenandoah to 2. Large part of that goes just to stronger possessions on the offensive end, and then face-off wins to hold on to it. Make it 10 in the second quarter. Just a beeline to the pipes. Drew Schmidt, sophomore attackman out of Easton, Maryland, making it look too easy. (14-6). We were tied 14 and a half minutes ago. Played back to Alex Morton. Fights through a check. He sees daylight. Morton sidearm. Well left. 20 seconds to go. Quincy White with possession at the Lynchburg script. Near side with 10 to go. Entry pass. Mark Rubley reverses. Will Rubley, bouncer, no good. 2.3 remaining. Is Lynchburg going to try and get a quick one? The pass can't be collected by White. And we head to the locker rooms with an 8-goal Lynchburg lead after being tied at the end of the first quarter. What a 15-minute period from Kudelka and company. More to come in the second half when we get back on FloSports from Lynchburg, Virginia. And we welcome you back into the Hill City. A 14-6 ball game. It started as a 4-4 barn burner in the opening quarter. Lynchburg just ran away with it in the second. Outscored Shenandoah 10-2. One of their most efficient offensive performances in a quarter this season. Shenandoah will try and chip away and keep this one competitive. I just felt like Lynchburg woke up after a slow start. Rocco Egan lost the handle off the face-off win. Collected by Vandenberg. Now Hastings allow his first-team offensive midfield group to get on. Fully under the lights here in Lynchburg, Virginia in the second half. Finn Schmidt wants to go after Zurzanski. Vandenberg draws one. Good passing by the Hornets, but better zone defense from Shenandoah. A long shot from Holman. Well high, but backed up by Finn Schmidt. Hastings from GLE. Holman, entry pass. Finn off the top bar. Rebound in the air from Ash. Now Vandenberg wants to go after Lee. Skip pass, Holman. Wide right. Hastings curling around the crease. Shot saved by Feldman. Once again, another chance for Lynchburg. High pass for Schmidt. Schmidt, inside pass on the mark, but poked away by the long pole. And it caused turnover for Shenandoah. Duda along the far sideline. Good feed to get it into the box. Arnsmeyer underneath. Poster down the near alley. Chunked down. That's textbook right there from Scapatero. Stutter step. Nice save made by the keeper. We've got a change in goal for Lynchburg in half number 2. Eric Allen out of the contest. It's Luca O'Reilly. Good ball movement from Shenandoah. Nice stop right there from the sophomore out of Roswell, Georgia. Seems like there's going to be a whole lot of changes for Lynchburg. And half number 2, just from a personnel standpoint. Another good stop. You've also got Will Eli, the freshman defender, out there for the Hornets. He has taken the spot of Liam Haley. Roth dared to go to his left. He takes him right. Hastings couldn't see it all the way in. Zaransky. Offsides call on Shenandoah. Lynchburg was trying to move quick in similar fashion to how they scored one of their goals in the second quarter. This time the officials held them up. Step down, Vandenberg. The senior fires and scores. That's his first of tonight's contest. Vandenberg with goal number 21 this year, the fourth most on the Lynchburg roster. Coming off his first game this year without a score. During the intermission between the first and second half, there was some dialogue going on here in the press box, not about the Shenandoah-Lynchburg matchup for tonight, but all eyes looking towards next weekend as Lynchburg and Shenandoah baseball will face off against each other. Those are really two of the premier teams, not just in the conference, but in the nation. That'll be a top 5 matchup. Looking to go coast to coast. They'll slow it down and allow their offensive group to hit the field. But that certainly is one that is circled on the calendar, not this Saturday, but the one following it on April 25th. You've got Lynchburg, Shenandoah, and Fox Field, a doubleheader. That should determine a lot of the conference seeding as we really get ready for playoff time. How about the check right there from Will Hecht? Scooped up by Mahoney. Advance forward. Morton, sidearm, off the crossbar. A long ball that goes across. It got called over and back, but that can't be the call because it's a shot attempt. So Brookman will pick it up off the carpet. And will just be an inadvertent whistle. And that's exactly the call from our officials. We'll give it to Lynchburg across the midfield line. Not sure how much of a difference that'll make, but the Hornets 6 steps closer. But obviously, the baseball is certainly a whole lot of fun. You got Lynchburg, Bridgewater, Shenandoah, 3 of the top 10 teams in the nation and the conference. And Lynchburg will play Bridgewater this weekend. So certainly a whole lot of moving and shaking in the standings in the next 2 weeks. Inside feed for Rubley. This one tipped away. Tracked down by Ash. Lynchburg maintains possession, and they'll get a fresh 80. These two schools certainly going to have a chance to play in another conference championship against each other. Shenandoah and Lynchburg went at it in the ODAC championship for field hockey this past fall. That was a big win for Lynchburg's program. First ODAC title under head coach Jenny Relaford after losing to Shenandoah the year prior. But the baseball really just another level in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. Worked around to Holman. Gets to his right, dishes back to his left. And a stop for Shenandoah. The clear has been relatively clean tonight for Shenandoah. That's one element of Lynchburg's defense, if you really want to call it, on that side of the field, that is really spectacular. Something where they try and disrupt a whole lot of teams by applying a whole lot of pressure. Every now and then you'll see them break out that 10-man ride where the keeper comes out and matches up and everybody moves up a body. Tonight, Shenandoah has been 10 of 14 on their clear attempts. Lynchburg has gone 8 of 9. Lynchburg hasn't had to clear it a whole lot just because they're scoring at such a high frequency and also winning so many face-offs. That's just what the doctor ordered for Shenandoah. Petrie, the beneficiary on that score for Shenandoah. Petrie with his 14th goal this year makes it 15-7. Collision on the near sideline right in front of the box, and it'll be a penalty going against Lynchburg. Drawn by the speedy midfielder in Ryan Demo. So this should be a 30-second penalty. Goes against Will Rubley. A takeaway from the Hornets. And Lynchburg drew a couple of penalties there. Or a couple of flags, you might say. And another flag comes out on Shenandoah. Because they were offsides, they just kept an extra man on there. So it's 6-on-7 right now. But you're playing with house money. Rubley likes his odds. Now Shenandoah will go man down. So it'll be double man down. One of them was just an offside, so a 30-second penalty. I believe the other one was a hold. So two 30-second penalties, both releasable, and it's 6-on-4 for Lynchburg. I'd like to see if your offense can score right around a 60% clip on man up, but when you're 2 men up, you feel like it should be right around 99%. Hastings, Vandenberg, Rubley back to Hastings, Holman, inside pass, Vandenberg. With 3 seconds to spare on the penalty. Brilliant execution from the Lynchburg man-up group. Finn Schmidt gets the assist. Both penalties wiped away, and we're back to even numbers. Early movement on Shenandoah's face-off man, Braxton Sneed. Whether it's been Egan or Frankel tonight, Lynchburg has found a whole lot of success at the dot. Tangway. Rubley to Rubley. Now Kobe Hall works down the left alley. Tangway behind the cage. Looking for Will Rubley. This one picked away. Duda showing off the wheels. Shenandoah doesn't have numbers. They'll pull it back out. Eager over to DJ Lee. I got the chance to see DJ Lee's dad during the intermission. He was wearing a Richmond police hat. I'm saying, they got you on patrol all the way out here? I said, no, my son DJ's playing. 15 in blue. A Glen Allen product. Pops came 2 hours down, 64 to watch him play. Obviously, Richmond has really been the talk of the lacrosse world this year, as the Spiders were the top-ranked team in Division I for the first time in program history. What's wild about the University of Richmond lacrosse program is that it got brought in about a decade ago, and it was very controversial when they first brought the team in, because due to Title IX, you can only have so many varsity men's sports. It's got to be even with the level of students at the school in terms of scholarships awarded to men and women in athletics. And the addition of lacrosse meant you had to take one away, as Luke Brookman gets his first one of the night. Sidelines loving it. We go back to talking about Richmond as we take another look at this highlight from Brookman. Quick stick, top left. That Richmond program, they had to dissolve a team, so they took away the men's soccer program, which was really successful in the A-10, and a lot of people were up in arms about it. But they had the lacrosse team in what you could really call one of the hubs of lacrosse talent in the nation. I mean, obviously that whole DMV produces a whole lot, but you've got schools of the likes of St. Christopher's and Collegiate High School. I mean, you've got kids coming out of those pipelines to go play at UNC and Notre Dame and Cornell, a national champion in Walker Wallace. I mean, so they bring in the men's lacrosse team about a decade ago. Everyone's really upset about it, but now it seems like that might be the best decision that athletic department has ever made. Bouncer, book it, bottom left, 51 in white, Drew Schmidt. When it rains, it pours for Lynchburg. In the second and third quarter, the floodgates have opened. "56 shots for Lynchburg thus far. The most shots in a game for Lynchburg in program history is 80. Probably won't hit that mark today, but in order to be in the top 10, 64 is the number to hit. That's certainly well within striking distance. It has been a bad day to be a goalie in blue. Just getting pelted. Schmidt. Good shot off by the shorty. Quincy White, right down Main Street. The bouncer runs high. Sidearm, no dice. That was Henry Fowler letting it rip. Moving screen called on Lynchburg. Fowler, the beneficiary of the whistle. Duda lost the handle. This could be dangerous. Nothing but daylight. Play the fight song. It's James Bauer, a freshman out of Provo, Utah. James Bauer. 19-7, Lynchburg on top. You know, one thing that you got to be a big fan of in tonight's contest is the matchup of mesh. The mesh uniforms have really started to find a little bit of a resurgence, especially at the Division III level. You've got schools like Denison and Dickinson and Gettysburg, Salisbury, and obviously these two all really starting to sport that mesh. Over in the back was not called. Kudelka up in arms about it. As you saw, Nyan Demo get away with one, and a whistle was called on Lynchburg. Poster. They'll run it from X. Going against Brookman. Off the outside of the goal. And while Lynchburg was on the offensive end, we had another switch up in goal. Braden Garwood, the freshman out of Harrisonburg, Virginia, the Hill Academy product, between the pipes for the Hornets. And now he'll have his first test tonight in a man-down set for Lynchburg. Penalty was called on Alex Morton of Lynchburg. A 90-second penalty with 46 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Good start to the possession for Shenandoah. Just trying to creep closer to the crease. Good rotation from Brookman on the weak side. But a brilliant shot from 15 yards out. Cody Griffiths adds another to his season total. Not much you could do right there if you're Mahoney. Trying to extend his stick as much as he could to try and disrupt the attempt. Nevertheless, Shenandoah makes it a 19-8 score.
Scored by number 21, Cody Griffiths, assisted by 13, Liam Ellsworth.
That sequence all started on the defensive end for Shenandoah. They had a takeaway that turned into a Lynchburg penalty and then turned it into a goal. Everybody converging on Fowler, able to get away and draw a whistle right as the clock hit 0. We're going to keep it here until we get a call on what we're going to see in the fourth quarter. The official no face-off for the fourth quarter. 80 on the ticker for Lynchburg, and a 30-second man-up opportunity as Kennedy Duda was called for the hold. Lynchburg out in front, 19-8 as we head to the final 15. And we welcome you back into Lynchburg, Virginia. I apologize for the malfunction on our timer for the game clock, but I'll continue to keep you posted. 15 minutes and rolling as Lynchburg gets into a 30-second man-up opportunity after the hold to end the third quarter. Swung around the top, now some movement. Tangway. Three seconds remaining on the penalty. They're going to try and go now. Beautiful stick work right on the doorstep, and a goal scored by Mikey Richardson. Mikey Richardson, the freshman out of Leesburg, Virginia, gets his 7th goal of the year. Had a hat trick a week ago against Guilford. Face-off won by Caramango. Ground ball to Tucker Olmert. Volm, GLE for Fowler. Back up top, sweeping across the sidearm wide right. Nathan Miller couldn't put it on target. Fowler, back underneath. There's the split dive down the left alley. The right-handed shot won't go. 19 seconds on the timer with 13 and a half remaining in our final quarter. Here's Miller. Fowler. Hooked around. They're just going to heave this one in the corner. Or just hold on to it and turn it over. Oh my goodness. Nyan Demo just went right into the chest of a Lynchburg defender, but able to bounce right off him. Long toss downfield, intercepted. Lynchburg attacking quickly. Jack Murdoch almost had a chance at one right there. You take a look at what's to come for Lynchburg. You got 2 matchups on the road before you close out the season. You travel to Hampton-Sydney this weekend. That'll certainly be a fun physical battle. That's a young Hampton-Sydney team that's really had its fair share of ups and downs this year. And then you go on the quote-unquote road to go play down the street at Randolph. And it's just one where you try and stay as sharp as possible. Lynchburg has really dominated their matchups against Randolph in the last handful of years. They have won every matchup in program history against the Wildcats. And then you end with probably the one that's been circled all season long for the home schedule. You've got Code Red Senior Night Alumni Weekend against the Generals of Washington and Lee. That'll be a rematch of last year's ODAC final, and in all honesty, a rematch of darn near every ODAC final in the last 12 years. I want to say the ODAC champion in the last 12 years has been either W&L or Lynchburg, and I think in 9 or 10 of them, it has been those two schools playing each other. W&L with a slight edge over Lynchburg. But this year it has really been all about the Hornets. But that's not to say that something can't happen in ODAC tournament time. Obviously, Lynchburg has their sights set on an ODAC title. It would be their first since 2024, just a one-year hiatus for Lynchburg after losing in Lexington a season ago. One of those years where Lynchburg and W&L did not face off against each other was that championship year after the Generals got upset by Randolph-Macon. Henry Fowler, a quick stick to make it 22-8. Or 21-8, I beg your pardon. Assist goes to Evan Yale with 10.5 remaining. And Lynchburg up to 64 shots. So this is one of the games that will be in the record books. To be in that top 10 for goals in a game, you need to hit the 25 mark. So we'll see if Lynchburg can get in the mix there. Not really close to putting the assist stamp on this one. Only 8 tonight on their 21 goals. With that season finale against Washington and Lee as Henry Fowler pounds the outer edge to make it 22-8 with just under 10 minutes to go.
Back-to-back goals for Lynchburg's number 7, Henry Fowler.
Fowler with his 6th goal this year. But if we take a look at the ODAC standings and how the season has shook out thus far, right now Lynchburg atop. They have an unblemished record of 6-0, likely to move to 7-0 after tonight, followed by Washington and Lee at 7-1. That's sole loss at the hands of Randolph-Macon. And you got a tight race right after that. You got Roanoke and Hampton-Sydney both at 6-2, followed by Randolph-Macon at 4-2. Hampton-Sydney and Roanoke played earlier this year. Roanoke won that one in 7-9 fashion. So they do maintain the tiebreaker, which once we hit the postseason time, that certainly holds a whole lot of weight. Nice spin dodge. Randolph-Macon really one of those fun teams that you feel like can cause some chaos. They've got a whole lot still left on the schedule. They play in Virginia Beach against Valwez tonight. That one started at 6:30. See if we can get a score on it. 19-7, Macon out in front as Henry Fowler gets a hat trick tonight. And then you got Roanoke, Bridgewater, and Averett. So you feel like there are 3 very winnable games remaining, and then that one against Roanoke will have big-time playoff implications. And for the Roanoke Maroons, just 2 games remaining with Macon and Guilford. So if you're Macon, you feel like if you can win out and steal that one from Roanoke, you could potentially move all the way up to the 3rd seed, which in all honesty, I think is a very likely scenario. And in the off chance that you can't make that happen, Hampton-Sydney does have that tiebreaker over Randolph-Macon after an overtime win earlier this year. That was one of the more exciting games we've had this season. That one took a whole lot of lacrosse to figure out a victor. Nevertheless, I mean, that W&L Lynchburg game will more than likely determine who will be the number 1 overall seed and get the opportunity to host the ODAC championship. You get the sense that it'll be between those 2 Goliaths. As we mentioned, anything can happen when we hit playoff time. 8.5 to go. Lynchburg leading by 15. Looking to keep on keeping on. Shot backed up with 28 seconds on the timer. 8:11 on the game clock. Backhanded shot, no good. The shot clock did not reset, so just 15 seconds. And a pass that rolls out of play. If you're a fan of lacrosse in general, last night was the PLL draft, Premier Lacrosse League. You had some Division III representation in that one. You had a man out of Tufts taken to the Boston Cannons, which Tufts a Boston school. Boston Cannons kind of makes sense. You just want to draft locally, and taking one of the top guys out of one of the top schools at the Division III level, not a bad route to go. And at this point, we're seeing all kinds of collegiate representation in professional lacrosse. We've seen guys taken out of Division III, out of Division II, even at the club level, out of the MCLA. If you want to talk MCLA ball, we got a great squad here in town at Liberty University. It's a team that drew a whole lot of media attention a year ago after the acquiring of Drip King, a social media influencer who was a face-off specialist for the Flames. I'm a big MCLA guy, but you're not going to see the same kind of offensive sets. It's more of like street ball, where you're just going out there and playing. Granted, some of the top teams, the Floridas, the Texases, as the bouncer goes to the top shelf. Liam Crawford, the freshman out of RVA, Richmond, Virginia. Douglas Freeman product and one of the top public school programs in the 804. Your fun fact of tonight's broadcast is Richmond, Virginia is the only major city in the United States that has Class 3 rapids going right through it. A big whitewater rafting scene. And what's so cool about the connection from Lynchburg to Richmond is the James runs all the way from Lynchburg down to Richmond. I mean, you can either take 64, you could take 288, or you could take the James. Certainly one is going to be quicker than the other. But you can hop on a canoe, you can do a kayak, and you can go all the way from the downtown in Lynchburg to downtown Richmond. And oddly enough, that's something they used to do back in the mid-1800s. Is in order to get shipments from Lynchburg to Richmond, they would do it by boat. This one's coming by air. Alex Morton soars in and notches another goal with 6 minutes to go. Morton faking the pass, letting it fly. And the Hornets up by 17. Murdoch with the GB. Five and a half to go. It's been an offensive eruption for Lynchburg in the last 2.5 quarters. This one off the face mask of the keeper. That's when you head to the sideline and the coach says, way to use your head. Five to go. Lynchburg from X. They'll try it once more. Here's Quincy White. He wants to go. Offline. The Hornets now up to 75 shots tonight. That is the second most in a game in program history. White wants to go once more. This time he'll swing it over. Extra pass and an extra goal. That one was Drew Schmidt. The assist coming from behind the cage from Mikey Richardson. Four and a half to go in the final quarter of play. Lynchburg with possession after it was last touched by a blue stick. Talk about the connection between these two schools and what they've both accomplished this year. We had one heck of a ball game this past Sunday between Lynchburg and Shenandoah for women's lacrosse. 14-13 final. You had McKenna Steinow score the game winner for Lynchburg with 24 seconds to go. That was a back and forth one. Lynchburg went up 3-0 in the first and 8 unanswered from Shenandoah, and the Hornets just came firing back in the fourth. What about the check right there from Duda, but able to stick with it and maintain possession is Liam Crawford. That was certainly a fun one we had. It was the code red for Lynchburg women's lacrosse as it's popped out of the stick of Hillebrand. Shenandoah going north to south. 3.5 minutes to go. Kenna Steinow for the Lynchburg women's lacrosse team. She had 6 goals that game. Her and Neely Morris combined for 11 of the 14 Lynchburg goals. And Kenna Steinow has been playing out of her mind this year. Hat tricks in 9 games this season. Shenandoah looking to add another one. Quick pass, quick shot off the top pipe and controlled by the Hornets of Lynchburg. Ethan Carr with a quick pass out in front. Mark Cron. Bauer. Wide open behind the back. Highlights still coming with 2.5 to go. It's Will Eli. 27-8. Let's take another look at this one. Whoop! Like you're playing in the backyard. I think that might be the first career one from Will Eli. A freshman long pull. Yes, indeed. That's one you want to hold on to. Duda with a nice pass. Slow break for Shenandoah. A diving play. Putting his body on the line. Andrew Beal jumps in front of it. Up by 19. Beal, the real deal. Let's take another look at this. The full-on extension. That one will leave a welt in the morning, not a bruise. Under 2 minutes to go. This one was taken away by Beal. Had it popped out of his stick, got it right back. Eli long feed downfield to Brookman. And Fowler's going to pump the brakes. There's a 20-second difference between shot and game clock. 10-second difference, I beg your pardon. A minute remaining. What a night it was for Lynchburg. 77 shots. That was 3 away from tying the most in program history. But they tied for the third most goals in a single game. The last time they hit 28 was against Virginia Wesleyan. Both times they've scored 28. I beg your pardon. March 2022 and April of 2018. Last time they scored 27 was also against Virginia Wesleyan in 1990. An offensive clinic by the Hornets tonight. It was a strong first quarter for Shenandoah. Half their goals came in the first 15 minutes, but Lynchburg scored 10 in the second while holding Shenandoah to 1 and just pulled away. Nevertheless, still a whole lot of positives to pull out of this Shenandoah squad. As a long feed will be heaved to the other end, and that will do it. Lynchburg stays perfect in conference play, perfect on their home field as they head on the road for their next pair of games. Facing Hampton-Sydney this weekend for Shenandoah. You move to 5-11 on the season, 3-6 in conference, and your season finale on deck this weekend against Virginia Wesleyan. We appreciate you tuning in and spending your Wednesday evening with us from the Hill City. From myself and our entire production crew, thank you for joining us, and until next time, have a good one and stay cool.